George, if you had to pick a favorite word or one that describes you best, what would it be?
Giver. I think that,
I've been a recipient many times, so I can't deny that.
I think that I have no reason or rhyme that I could give you a logic as to why that is a staple of who I am. I guess in the quiet darkness of the evening, if I had to have a conversation with myself and I had to answer the question, who am I? One of the first things that would come to my mind would be a giver. I've always had this desire to want to give to others, and I have no idea how I acquired it, why it's important to me. It's just who I am. I can't or cannot go places and meet someone and not feel compelled to bring something with me for them. I guess it way back when I was a little kid, somewhere my grandma or my mom probably instilled that in me. I was in London for the EuroLeague Final Four, and I had a meeting with the EuroLeague commissioner and some of his lieutenants for lunch. And beside the professional relationship, I really have a personal relationship with them because I consider them really good friends of mine. And right now we only have a small sponsorship with them, so it wasn't something that I was trying to cement a relationship from a Nike perspective. So the day before, I know I'm going to have this luncheon meeting the next day, and so I'm trying to think, what can I bring to lunch to give everybody? And usually, as you know, the first thing I think about are books, because they can be so beneficial to a person if they read them. So I said, well, about the last 5 times I gave them a book, so I'm going to surprise them this time. So I went to a department store there in London, and I bought cologne. And one of the persons was a lady, so I got some perfume for her. And so when I went to lunch, I gave everybody a gift. It's I don't know, it's probably something back I heard when I was a little kid. Maybe my grandma talked about during the biblical times. You when you met people, you always came with glad tidings, and so that's how it's been. And
well, on that, there's another thing that you finish every conversation with. Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, there's certain overt signals that I think that you have to send to people that you really care about, to remind them. You can never take for granted that people really value the relationship as much as you do, that you can never take for granted the relationship per se. And so I think you always have to constantly be reminding the person that you're really an important person in my life. And saying it is one thing. Some overt manifestation of it is necessary from time to time. There's only so many times you can tell a girl you love her. And after a while, she starts thinking, well, if you really love me, show me. Hey,
say it in green.
Right, or a diamond wouldn't hurt either. Right. So, so what I try to do is to make sure that people understand that this relationship is a partnership. It's not. The best thing to me about a relationship is when you can do something for a person and there's no expectation. One of my sayings is, people will say, "Oh, you picked up the last 6 checks." I always say, "Hey, I don't keep score. I'm not in this relationship to keep score." Someone will say, I just cringe when I hear someone say, "After all the things that I did for them, can you believe that?" Yeah, right. See, now you were keeping score. Yeah, right. You're keeping score. To me, you do it because it was the right thing to do at the right time for the right person. Yeah, otherwise, it's bullshit. If you were going to hold me accountable for all you did, you should have told me that in the beginning, and then I'll make my decision whether I want to be your friend or not, or whether I want to deal with you or not. But don't tell me 10 years later, after you've done all these things, that you're disappointed in me, and you expected a repayment for all you did. I don't have a problem with that, but I like to know. I want to know the rules of the game before I get too far along, and that. And so, to me, I try in all the relationships that are important to me to let people know that I don't take for granted what they do, that I appreciate what they do, and I value what they do, and so that now imposes a special obligation on me, which I impose on myself, to say to reciprocate. I think the best relationships are balanced relationships where we're both in this together and we're both trying to create win-win situations for each other. Otherwise, it's just a selfish relationship. One person in a relationship is a giver, the other person is a taker. And those don't endure too long. So you try to figure out, how can we work together so we can grow together? And age doesn't have any damn thing to do with it. As you know, most of the people I hang out with the most, most of them are old enough to be my children. But I do that on purpose. I don't like to hang around with people my own age, because people my own age, they live in the past. The younger people that I associate with, they live in the present and the future. And I don't want to live the rest of my life in reverse. I want to live my life in the present and in the future. And the young people today are the present and the future. And I can get excited about being around them. I can get embarrassed in being around them, in that they're a hell of a lot smarter than I am, and I love when I'm around them and they bring up things, and I feel inadequate, and I say, damn, why didn't I think of that? But they keep me energized. If I'm hanging around people my own, they're telling stories about, oh, you remember when we used to do this, and how the old times are, and retirement. I'm going to go fishing. I'm going to play golf. And so now you're living your life in the rearview mirror. Well, that ain't me. I want no part of that. And as you've heard me say before, when I die, I want the indicator on my energy tank to be dead on E. So when you look in there and you see it's dead on E, you say, damn, you know what, Alex? I can understand how he died. She didn't have nothing left. It was time to go. You know, I don't want to die and someone looks in there and I got a tank of gas still left in me. Shit, then that means I wasted a lot of damn time.
All right, it's time to go, Alex.
Die on empty.
I guess it's time to go.